about Trixie's a secret.
Really? Exactly why is he such a secret, Ladybug?
Would Marinette abandon Paris if it meant protecting the anonymity of her personal life? Miraculous Ladybug has always pushed the narrative that secret identities were vital for Ladybug and Cat Noir. Otherwise, their city would fall and they would ultimately lose their Miraculouses to evil. The series has never explored how the narrative might change if the world knew the identity of their favorite heroes, and how that knowledge might change the lives of Marinette, Adrien, and those they hold close. We like to believe that someone like Ladybug will always prevail, but she might break under the pressure of everyone knowing both parts of her life. Today's video will cover how Miraculous Ladybug would change if the world knew Marinette and Ladybug were one and the same.
I don't need to try to do everything on my own all the time when I have a super team I can rely on.
Number 1. Adrien might see her differently. I've always admired Adrien's loyalty to those he loves, especially Marinette. The 6th season has shown us how much he cares for his girlfriend, as he's willing to overlook her quirks and help her overcome her shortcomings so they can continue to grow alongside one another. He's one of the few people who never doubts Marinette's character and integrity, but that might change once he learns she's Ladybug. You might be thinking, we've had alternative reality episodes where Adrien learns Ladybug's identity and he never thinks less of her, but I'll remind you that these episodes took place before Gabriel's death and before Marinette chose to lie about Monarch's identity. The guilt of lying to Adrien is eating Marinette alive in the 6th season, and I would think she would cave if Adrien began asking her for more details about his father's final moments. While I doubt Adrien will break up with Marinette for her deception, I'm sure he wouldn't trust her like he did before. When Marinette realizes how much she's hurt Adrien, she might try to hide from her mistake, but she'll quickly discover that she has nowhere to go.
I'm sorry I'm not doing things the way you need me to, Marinette. If you no longer want to be my girlfriend, I'll understand.
Number 2. She'd lose her safety net. We've all been young once, so most of us can sympathize with Marinette's habit of running away when the going gets tough. There's no denying that our favorite hero has some severe anxiety, and one of her greatest coping mechanisms throughout the series is running away from her problems. I wish I were joking, seeing as she's the last line of defense between the world and it being rewritten in a villain's image, but historically, Marinette will cut and run to avoid her struggles. Her bad habit occurs when she's Marinette, who needs to temporarily leave behind the trials of her personal life. She often uses her duties as Ladybug as a crutch or an excuse to ignore other things that are weighing her down. One recurring problem is her relationship behavior and how she feels inadequate compared to the people she's dating. Instead of telling Adrien she feels insecure in the Illustrator, she runs away pretending she's otherwise busy as Ladybug and can't make the time for a proper heart-to-heart with her boyfriend. While Marinette tends to hide from her personal life by throwing herself into Ladybug's responsibilities, that tactic will become obsolete once everyone knows her secret identity.
He touched me. He touched me.
I didn't show you. It talks too. He touched me. He touched me.
Number 3. Her personal life would become chaotic. Unfortunately for Marinette, she'll be unable to hide from her problems, whether she's Ladybug or a normal girl with a normal life. She won't be able to go to school, work in the bakery, or go out with her friends without having eyes on her at all times. She'll become an instant celebrity overnight with fans and haters who won't hesitate to ruin her reputation. The 6th season has greatly emphasized social media and how people may use it to spread fake news and warp perceptions. Marinette has already become the victim of this once, and she would become an easy target when she's outed as Ladybug. I find it hard to believe she would have a moment of peace. Not only would fans be swarming her family's bakery, but her classmates at school might clamor to know the details behind Ladybug's actions and battles. Others may try to befriend her for nefarious purposes like Chloe, who might only be interested in fame or fortune by making amends with her long-term adversary. Likely, she would never have a moment of respite, with people waiting around every corner. She would also have difficulty talking to Tiki, and she'd need to keep a close eye on her earrings, as everyone would know about her Miraculous. I'm sure she might find herself on the other end of a crazed fan or ill-intentioned enemy who would also use her personal life against her, meaning someone else might need to step in and make a difficult call.
Nino, Chris, happy King's Galette Day! A quartet of queens for a King's Galette. Enjoy, girls.
Number 4. She'll be removed as Guardian. The Order of Guardians was formed to protect the Miraculouses from harm. They have a long list of rules to ensure the Miraculouses never fall into the wrong hands, and I've always respected their organization. However, Suhan and his priorities have annoyed me throughout the former seasons. As the Celestial Guardian, he should have recovered the Chinese Miracle Box and found fully trained wielders capable of taking down Monarch efficiently. Instead, he allowed Marinette to keep the box, resulting in the loss of numerous Miraculouses. Should Ladybug's secret identity go public, the Miracle Box and its Miraculouses would be in immediate peril. Suhan must, without a doubt, take action and make a difficult call. Otherwise, Lila and her akumatized villains would swarm the Dupang Chang bakery to take the Miracle Box for themselves. Suhan holds himself responsible for Monarch stealing the Miraculouses the first time, so I doubt he would allow them to be lost a second time, even if that meant turning against Marinette and stripping her of her status as guardian. Unfortunately, relinquishing the Miracle Box might put Marinette and her loved ones in grave danger, as all former guardians are fraught with amnesia.
I will keep watching you from a distance, but be wary. One failure and I will take the Miracle Box back.
Number 5. Her family will become endangered. I find it hard to believe that the Dupang Changs could remain in their home, even without Suhan arriving to take the Miracle Box and strip Marinette of her memories. In Miraculous World London, we have the chance to see Lila in action for the first time, and she doesn't hesitate to invade Marinette's home when she learns that she's Ladybug. She'll do anything to get what she wants, and a few casualties will be a small price, especially if she plans to rewrite the universe with Gimme's power. The surefire way to force Marinette to surrender is to endanger her loved ones. If Lila managed to snatch Tom and Sabine from their home, put them in a life-threatening situation, and demand that Marinette hand over the Ladybug Miraculous, she has a high probability of winning. One of the most dangerous things about Lila is that she's a competent villain who can do significant harm to the heroes if the right cards are in her hand. Unlike Gabriel, she's always 3 steps ahead, and there's so much damage she could do if she knew Ladybug and Marinette were the same. Honestly, I wouldn't bat an eye if she started targeting Marinette's loved ones as a form of torture.
You and have no choice but to adore you. I can give you this power that will allow you to have more followers than anyone else.
Number 6. Her loved ones will feel pressured. While Marinette would grow to resent the limelight and constant attention, her real adversary would be the societal pressure put on her friends. Throughout the series, we see how much Adrien wilts when in front of a camera or when confronted by his adoring fans. He hates the fame, and keeping up with the act exhausts him. Unfortunately, it's not something he can outrun, as his fanbase outlives his acting and modeling career. Long after his father's death, there are still people posting stories about him online and harassing the people he cares about, including his girlfriend. I can only assume the same pressure will become Marinette's new normal, and it would become the new normal for anyone who associates with her. The people of Paris will start to hone in on Alia, Adrien, and the other members of the Miraculous, prying into their personal lives and asking the question everyone wants to know. Did they know Marinette was Ladybug? I'm concerned with the possibility of the public analyzing Marinette's friends more closely, as they might piece together other secret identities.
You're not talking about you as Queen Bee, because most of the time you are a super disaster more than a superhero.
Number 7. The press will swarm her. If anyone would become obsessed with uncovering the secret identities of the other Miraculous, it would be the media. Lila wouldn't need to do the work, as hundreds of reporters and journalists around the world would likely do it for her, releasing articles with evidence and speculation and putting names to each hero. To add credibility to their theories, these journalists might swarm Marinette, asking questions to pry the truth from her. When Marinette refuses to answer questions that might endanger her friends, their questions might turn to her exploits as Ladybug, including her many blunders or failures. With the press breathing down her neck and questioning her every move, I wouldn't be surprised if Marinette found her double life too much to bear. Unfortunately, giving up her Miraculous wouldn't be enough to make the world forget who she was or what she had done.
And with a heart embroidered on it?
Well, it's obvious because Marinette asked her to.
I hate to imagine Marinette's life falling apart while she's powerless to stop it. With her identity known to the world, including her greatest enemies, she might become desperate enough to use other Miraculouses to undo her mistake and reclaim her secret. Do you think Marinette has a breaking point that, once reached, could push her to summon Gimme or use the Rabbit Miraculous to change the past? The repercussions for either may be more than Marinette bargained for, but by the time she realizes the price of reclaiming her secret identity, it will be too late.
I think I feel like walking, if you don't mind.
No, of course not. I don't mind at all.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You should really thank Marianne, you know. From what I heard, she was the true superhero of the day.